Hi everyone, I hope you are doing well. And I'm going to put this in the chat here. So in case folks are interested in pulling some cards. So I'm just gonna do a short read on like what's blocking you, those who are on their fertility journey, like what things are blocking them, just seeing energy wise, specifically what you need to work on. Okay, so let's get an idea, Ancestor Spirit Guides. What is the collective? What do they need to work on energetically for their fertility? They need to work on energetically for fertility. Hi. For some of you, it's about, when I see this, jade. So I'm thinking possibly some of you, it could be around the heart chakra. For some of you, it's like you may have gone through some challenges, and part of the work is like learning kind of how to have maybe some forgiveness. Could be around yourself or someone relation to you, but that's one area that I need to work on. Let's see. What other areas I need to work on in terms of... Hi, everyone. Yeah, for some of you, it's like you've had conflict with other people, and it's like you are not having internal peace. So there's some sort of disruption, potentially around, it could be in relationship to your partner or maybe your fertility journey. Part of the work that they're asking for some of you all is to learn how to kind of build that peace within. I'm going to pull one last one, and then I'll go into the tarot. And then I'll explain why some of these things are important. Yeah, for some of you, it's also Shung Knight. For some of you, it's possibly around like the relationship maybe you had with a particular partner. They could have been a karmic, or maybe there's just some unhealthy dynamics within your guys' relationship that is impacting your fertility journey. The other piece is for those of you who may have like a great partner and you guys don't have any issues. Some of it, what I'm seeing is that you may need to do some sort of detox. And what I mean by detox, it can be like the types of foods that you're eating that can be inflammatory towards your fertility journey. It can also be like, are you wearing perfumes, like certain things like that, that is potentially affecting you. Also too, I recommend for folks, if you are wanting to get pregnant or you're in the early stages, I recommend to folks don't tell people until like your at least second trimester, because people can put energy on you around your womb. So I recommend like be more protective of yourself, your body, your space, but also like do the things that you need to do in order to make your body be more efficient, so that energetically you can, hi Spicy Mystic, so that you can bring in the child spirit that you're trying to bring in. Yeah, and for some of you, it's like when folks do get on a fertility journey or they're trying to build towards that, it's in a lot of ways, for some folks, it feels like it can be like a routine, right? And the joy gets lost in that. And so one of the things that I want to remind folks is when you start obsessing about the things that are not going right, that makes it even more worse, right? And so one of the things that they're asking is like, bring some more passion, more excitement into the experience. And if you're curious about what that may look like, I am also a fertility doula, so that's something that I can speak to, and how you may want to build that. So rather than thinking about this experience as like, I need to do this, this, and this, so I can get this outcome, there needs to be more of thinking about tending to self and having fun in your process, both between you and your partner, and bringing in child in. So yeah, so that is part of it. Thank you all so much for hearting. I just felt like called to hop on. I haven't been on TikTok as of recently. Or how many of you in here are on your fertility journey, or planning within this next year? And fertility journey, like what I ask and say to folks, it doesn't mean necessarily that you're always going to be trying for a child. Fertility also means like having your body in the best alignment it can possibly be. And I also tell folks like that is really important also as you get older and you go into menopause. So it doesn't necessarily have to be the end result of having a child, but at least getting your body and your mindset towards that. That's really important. So let's see what other things I can pull out here that might be important for you to know. For some of you, it's like you may be feeling stuck by your journey or the decisions that you need to make around your journey. You all need to make a decision. If you're going to do this, you need to like start preparing. And that goes back to the detox part. When I am working with folks and doing doula work, we talk about what does preparing actually look like. Like it's very intentional. It's not, I'm just here with my partner. Like there's a series of things that you need to do in order to get prepared and ready for it, right? So thank you all so much. Like for some of you, it's also like you have a hard time envisioning what your what this outcome's gonna be, but also a hard time visioning anything outside of what's not working, and that's what's blocking you. For some of you, it's like you need to learn how to vision your life as a potential parent, like those kinds of things, what your child looks like, what things you want to do. You need to be more imaginative and have a vision for that. And so that will kind of help you break up some of the stuckness around your journey. Hi, I'm just doing, if folks want a personal question around their fertility, I'm doing that. But otherwise, I'm, if you want Rania, if you want a reading, I have my thing pinned. So if you want to do one, you can, I have Cash App and Venmo, so, okay. Yeah, for some of you, it's like, also partly the stuckness is you're being presented that you need to elevate your energy. And what I mean by elevating is that when you have a spiritual awakening, it's not just that you're becoming aware of, connection with your ancestors or things like that. Spiritual awakening also deals with energetic elevation. And so sometimes what happens that blocks you, specifically if you're trying to conceive a child, if your energy is not open enough and has not been worked on, that can potentially impact your spiritual awakening, for those things to come through. And so often when I tell folks, like when you're having children, some folks experience that spiritual awakening as they're giving birth, and they can see their ancestors and all that stuff. I do Reiki. I do womb Reiki on a client a couple weeks ago. When I was working on her, she could actually see her grandmother and her spirit daughter, right? And so when you open those things up by doing Reiki and other practices, that's also one of the ways that you kind of elevate. So part of you need to learn how to elevate your energy, and there's specific things that you can do behind that. And if folks are interested, I'm always willing to work with you if you want to do a session. So that's part of it. And also partly the stuckness is not tending to that spiritual awakening. Some of you is just like you guys are like worried, nervous, and the ancestors in them are trying to tell y'all like you need to be strong and courageous. So going into this journey, you want your child as your outcome, but what if you go into it and thinking about me taking the very best care of myself, and with that anticipated outcome, potentially a child coming through, that can happen. But sticking to just the obsession around things not working, that has an impact on you. So I'm going to pull one last one, and then I'll go into tarot. Yeah, for some of you who are on your path and are doing the work, you could conceive this month, or it could be sometime next year. I'm going to pull another card here just to get an idea, just to see what's blocking. But for a lot of you, it's like you're not willing to allow yourself to up your energy and not be blocked by what's going on, and that's what's happening. For some of you, it's like y'all may be coming to a cycle. I see the Queen of Swords. Like some of you may be coming towards the end of a cycle of like how you go about doing things. But some of you also need to be less hung up on folks around you or things that are not in your most highest good. Like you need to kind of cut those things out. Yeah, some of you have the Hangman. A lot of you, it's the indecision. And like I told a client, if you're not indecision and you're not saying the affirmation, both you and your partner, that can also be a block towards it. So some of y'all keep like looking at, let me look at other different points of view. Let me look at all these other things. And that's what's keeping you stuck. Like you're not allowing yourself to expand upon what's there. So let's see if there's anything else. Yeah, the Justice, you're going to have the things balance out, but you need to be willing to do the work. Some of you need to do the inner personal spiritual awakening work and need to work on your energy. For some of you, it's like either some of you overwork, or because you're obsessing, like you tire yourself out. So you have the Four of Swords here. For some of you, need to be more mindful about how you manage your energy, manage your emotions. Your emotions also impact your energy. Like I said, it could be August, next 3 weeks, could be next 4 months, something like that. But if you're not getting enough rest, that is going to be very important towards your potential child. Let's see if there's anything else here coming through. I want to ask message wise. Yeah, 3 months. So yeah, it could be 3 months. Or it could be like the month of March as a potential. But I've seen like with this card also too, like I'm saying, like you need to get into your spiritual awakening. Like some of you need to turn your back towards what's not working in the past. Like you need to make forward movement, and that also makes sense why also with the Hangman. It's like y'all need to make the decision that you want to step into this path, step into this work. Yeah, and also again, Queen of Swords here coming back up. Some of y'all need to make like a firm decision. This is the path that I'm going, that I'm willing to accept and to cycle moving into something new. Yeah, and also Four of Cups. Some of you also need to tap in more with your spirit child, but also some of you need to kind of get more tapped into your inner child, inner self, to kind of help you access that aspect of you, right? But a lot of you, like, you have fertility. Some of y'all are just sitting here like, why isn't things moving? Some of it is, you could sit and wait for it, but some of it is like y'all need to put the action in order for it to kind of move forward. So if you do that, you're going to have the 10 of Pentacles. So you're going to have the abundance. You're going to have the ability to bring in, the child, the family, all those things that you want to have. But you need to kind of put that energy back in. So is there anyone on here that is starting their fertility journey? Or if you have like generic question, or any of you guys want to do a reading in terms of timing. Yeah, 2 cups. So mutual. You guys need to, whatever dynamic between you and your partner, you need to make sure like there's give and take. Both cups are being filled, not just yours and not just theirs. Like there needs to be a balance that's going to be helpful towards your journey. So yeah, if no one has any questions, thank you so much for hearting, Spicy Mystic. I hope to be back on later this week. I think I'll be on Thursday or Friday. And I'll just probably do some generic reads just to kind of tap in, because I haven't been online most recently. So yeah, it's so good to see you all. Yes, I'll be seeing you soon, Spicy Mystic. I'm gonna be down there. Yeah, so it's so good to see you all, and I'm getting back into the flow. And I hope you guys have a good rest of a Monday. And